Hello, my fishing friends. It's your expert angler and guide, ready to dive into what promises to be an absolutely cracker of a day for wetting a line across our magnificent Australia. Today, the 1st of February 2026, is shaping up to be truly special, with summer in full swing and some exciting conditions that we need to talk about. Get ready, because I've got the lowdown on how to make the most of this fishing adventure, from the balmy coasts to the tropical north. First up, let's talk about some of our favorite species and how to target them on this fantastic day. Snapper, the reef dwellers. My friends, the snapper are absolutely loving these warm summer waters. On the 1st of February, expect them to be active, especially around coastal reefs, offshore grounds, and even closer to shore in bays where there are good structures. Look for them on depths from 15 to 30 meters, particularly around dawn and dusk or during periods of strong tidal flow. These fish are actively spawning and feeding, making them a prime target. For tackle, a medium to heavy spinning or overhead outfit with 20 to 30-pound braid is ideal. Rig up with a paternoster rig or a running sinker rig using a 60 to 80-pound fluorocarbon leader. When it comes to bait, fresh pilchards, whole squid, or even strips of mullet are absolute killers. Don't forget to send down a bit of burley to get them in a feeding frenzy. A little trick I've found: if the bite slows, try a soft plastic jerk shad in natural colours, slowly worked along the bottom. You might just tempt a big knobby flathead, the estuary ambush predators. Our sneaky flathead are going to be on the chew in the estuaries and sandy flats, especially with the warmer water temperatures and a strong tidal push. Concentrate your efforts on the run-in tide when that cleaner, cooler saltwater is pushing in. They'll be ambushing baitfish, moving over the flats and out of deeper drains. Look for them along drop-offs, weed edges, and anywhere there's a transition from shallow to deeper water. A light to medium spinning rod with 10 to 15-pound braid and a fluorocarbon leader of about 20 pounds will be perfect. Soft plastics, particularly grub tails and prawn imitations, worked with a slow hop and drop retrieve, are incredibly effective. If you prefer bait, live yabbies or small poddy mullet are irresistible. Remember, cover ground. Flathead will often be found in pockets, so keep moving until you find them. Barramundi, the tropical fighters. For those of you up north in the tropical regions, February is prime barramundi time. It's the wet season, and the rains are flushing out the systems, causing barra to move into freshwater billabongs, estuaries, and river mouths to feed and spawn. Look for them in areas where freshwater runoff meets saltwater, around submerged snags, rock bars, and deep holes. A medium-heavy bait casting or spinning setup with 30 to 50-pound braid is essential, along with a stout 60 to 80-pound fluorocarbon leader. Hard-body lures, especially those diving to 2 or 3 meters in natural baitfish patterns or bright colors, are excellent. Don't shy away from large soft plastics too. Live mullet or prawns are also dynamite. Cast accurately, work your lures slowly, and be ready for an explosive strike. Whiting, the tasty sand dwellers. And let's not forget the humble yet delicious whiting. With the warm coastal waters, whiting will be very active on sandy flats, particularly in protected bays and estuaries. They love areas with patchy weed beds and clean sand. Fish for them on the making tides as they push onto the flats to feed on worms and yabbies. Light estuary gear is the go here, a light spinning rod with 4 to 6 pound monofilament or braid, and a small running sinker rig with a size 6 to 8 long shank hook. Freshly pumped yabbies or bloodworms are by far the best baits. Cast into shallow water and slowly retrieve or just let your bait sit in a promising spot. It's a fantastic, relaxing way to spend the day, and the rewards are absolutely delicious. Now let's break down the conditions for our amazing country on this 1st of February 2026. Weather snapshot, summer's embrace. Across much of coastal Australia, we're looking at typical summer weather. Air temperatures will generally be warm, with average highs around 25 to 29 degrees Celsius, 77 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit in many coastal cities, though some inland areas might hit the mid-30s or even higher. Humidity will likely be a factor, especially along the eastern seaboard. We can expect light to moderate winds, often from the east or northeast, which is typical for summer, bringing in that sea breeze. Atmospheric pressure is likely to be stable over many regions, but keep an eye out for localized changes, particularly if any afternoon storms develop, as sudden drops in pressure can slow the bite. Some areas, especially the north, will see rain, characteristic of the wet season, which can significantly affect river fishing, often positively for species like Barramundi. Water temperature. The warm invite. The water temperature is one of the biggest drivers for fish activity right now. Most coastal areas, from Sydney to Perth, will see sea temperatures ranging from 23 to 25 degrees Celsius, 73 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. This warm water invigorates many species, prompting active feeding and spawning behavior. In the cooler southern waters around Melbourne, expect temperatures to be a bit lower, perhaps around 18 to 19 degrees Celsius, 64 to 66 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still very comfortable for a wide range of species. This consistent warmth means fish are generally more energetic and willing to chase a meal. Lunar influence. The full moon power are the moon. On February 1st, 2026, we're in the full moon phase, or just approaching it, depending on your exact time zone. Many anglers swear by the full moon for strong bites, and it's not just folklore, friends. This lunar phase brings powerful tides, stirring up baitfish and crustaceans, making them more accessible to predators. This increase in tidal movement often triggers a strong feeding response in many fish species, particularly those in estuaries and coastal areas, so use those strong tides to your advantage. Overall fish activity. A summer feast, combining all these factors, warm air and water, stable to moderate pressure, and the strong full moon tides, in predicting a good to excellent bite across Australia for many species. The fish are active, driven by spawning urges and abundant food. Coastal pelagics like bonito and tailor will be hunting baitfish, while bottom dwellers like snapper and flathead will be actively feeding on the stirred-up bottom. Barramundi in the north will be capitalizing on the wet season runoff. Expect active feeding periods, especially during tide changes and around dawn and dusk. Some species might be a bit more cautious in the heat of the midday sun, but overall, the conditions are ripe for a fantastic day on the water. So, my friends, the forecast for fishing in Australia on the 1st of February 2026 is excellent. We've got warm, inviting waters, active fish preparing for or engaging in spawning, and the powerful pull of the full moon tides to get them on the chew. Expect plenty of action if you target the right spots with the right gear. All right, my fellow anglers, that's my take for the day. I wish you all ni vosta, ni cheshui, tight lines and happy fishing. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful, and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. What are your fishing plans for this weekend? And what's your go-to bait for summer snapper? Let me know in the comments below. Share your catches, share your stories, and let's keep this awesome fishing community growing. See you on the water.